Last year here at the Phoenix Park, we literally drooled over the 250F Maseratis, the ERAs and the Cooper Bristols. They were the early front-engined Grand Prix cars. In fact, when the modern championship, as we know it, began in 1950, front engines dominated the scene. Then in 1958, this little baby came along. It was little compared to the Maseratis. As you can see, it's rear-engined, and it's the Cooper Climax. I'm getting out of my depth again here, so where's Steve? Steve, I've just been sitting in that beautiful 1958 Coventry Climax there, and I see from this 1964 Brabham that it's got a Coventry Climax engine as well. Can you tell me a little bit about the history?
Beautiful car, very effective in its day. Got the classical layout of the rear-engine single-seater, which pervades right up until today. If you look at modern single-seaters, the twin wishbone suspension, coil spring damper units.
It really is hard to believe it's 33 years old, isn't it?
It is indeed, and of course the car beautifully presented. All the drivers and owners of these cars nowadays want to see them in original condition, but they are racing cars. They do race them hard. They get used for the purpose for which they're intended, rather than sitting in museums.
It's nice to have you back again this weekend.
Yes, I think they're fabulous, and to see the cars in a setting here at Phoenix Park of the sort of places they would have raced, proper road circuits, is terrific stuff.
We're looking at the second era of the modern Grand Prix car. In addition to the obvious move from front to rear engine, there is also the drastic reduction in engine size from 2.5 litre to 1.5 litre. So Grand Prix cars really became rather small, rather like a current Formula Ford. This was also the era of the introduction of the monocoque design. Instead of the space frame chassis, which you can see here in a rather damaged form, Colin Chapman of Lotus introduced the aluminium or magnesium alloyed tub. The IMRC and Leinster Motor Clubs have gathered over 20 of these valuable cars from the mid-50s and 60s, many of them owned by Irishman Ian Pugh, who is seen here in his glorious 1968 BRM P133, the most recent model of this glorious display. The Rothmans Historic Formula One Grand Prix is the highlight of a glorious weekend. Not initially, I'm afraid, glorious for Rod Jolly, number 26, in his 1958 Cooper Climax, who makes a rather slow start. Steve Foster in his Brabham BT21, originally a Formula Junior car, leads. And there's that glorious BRM with the Daedalow orange nose of Ian Pugh. And what a sight these cars make as they head down the rather bumpy and narrow approach down to Furry Glen. And a great variety, but way out in front, Steve Foster at the moment. And there's the man in trouble, Rod Jolly. And he's looking down, he's obviously having some kind of gear selection, some kind of problem there, and not as big a problem as Marshall Bailey in his Brabham BT11, a 1964 model, who spins off there. There's Jolly, 26 now, beginning to get the cargo right as he gobbles up some of these rather beautifully prepared Formula Junior Brabhams. And indeed, I can remember a BT23 residing in Ireland. But there's the man, BT21A, still in the lead, and the larger Formula One car now right up behind him. Somebody waving another gaggle through there, number 20 just on the right there. That looks like Jeff Williams, his Cooper 1957 car. So quite an age variety there. Jolly now right on the tail, should have the speed in the straight line. Indeed he has. And he devours the little Brabham BT21 as it breaks for Dublin corner. Lovely shot there. These cars are really a joy to observe and beautifully prepared, and bringing all kinds of memories back. John Pringle, do you remember him in the Cooper Climax? The man from Bangor who won just about everything in Ireland in his day. But it's Rod Jolly's day today. Cooper wins, Brabham second, Lotus third, all the glorious names.
And now for